Genetic accidents, freaks of nature, highly gifted athletes with crazy off the chart key performance indicators. Don't you wish you were one of them? I do. Hey, this is Joe Big House Kenn, and you are back for another episode of Inside the House Words Win Wednesday. And on this episode, we're going to talk about my top 3 genetic accidents after I give you some honorable mentions and where I first heard the term genetic accident. But before that, I gotta say it, hate to do it. Please like and subscribe if you like the information that we're doing. And as someone has started to do, send in if you want a subject matter for me to cover either on Inside the House or a special edition. First time I heard the term genetic accident was on an interview from Harry Carson via Coach Ray Perkins when they were describing the legendary all-time great LT Lawrence Taylor. Lawrence Taylor's physical attributes were well known, but his domination on the football field from his defensive end position and outside linebacker changed the entire complexity of how football was played at the NFL. Although right now I work with high-level strongmen, and some people could say they are genetic accidents, and I study the sport of professional CrossFit, some of those athletes could be considered genetic athletes. I'm going to stick into my wheelhouse, and we're going to talk football. So here are my honorable mentions. Some names you'll recognize, a lot you won't, and then I will get you to my top 3 genetic accidents that I had the pleasure of coaching with and for during my time as a football physical preparation, strength and conditioning coach. First was actually a teammate, Super Dave Braxton. Before it was the norm, Dave was an outside linebacker, 6'3", 240, running 4.4 any day of the week. Street clothes, high tops, Chuck Taylors. Back in the day, we wore Chuck Taylors in our winter program. But his strength was freaky too, so much so that he barely even lifted weights. Here's a cool story about Super Dave and why I put him on the genetic accident honorable mention freak list. We were maxing out, can't remember what year, let's just say it was 87. All of us were in there early, we're going to go crazy and all this. And Dave comes up the day before and goes, yo, House, what's up? When you all benching tomorrow? And we say, hey, 3 o'clock. Hey, what time? How far are you going up? Well, a lot of us are going to go up 4 plus. Oh, yeah, what time are you going to get to about 4:05? Let's just say 4 o'clock. Okay, Dave rolls in 3:55, smokes 4:05 in street clothes. On his way out, hey, what time you squatting tomorrow? That's Super Dave Braxton. Next, Boise State is Dave Stachelski. Dave loved a weight room. 6'4", 255, 400 plus clean, 400 plus bench, 625 plus squat, 38.5 vert, 10 plus long, 4.55 40, 4.00 short shuttle. Dave had a short stint in the NFL, but one of the first legitimate freaks of nature genetic accidents that I coached. Definitely would be on the freak list of Bruce Feldman right now today. Next, we'll go all the way to Arizona State. Terry Richardson. Man, if this guy could stay off the running program, and I mean the punishment running program, who knows what could have happened to T. Rich. Coolest thing about T. Rich, guy comes late to a training session. Back then, you did up downs every 30 seconds for the duration of the session. Terry finishes all the up downs an hour later, long jumps 11 feet. That's T. Rich in a nutshell. Scottie Long, wide receiver. Louisville, came off an ACL, 6'3", 215, went 41.5-inch vert, low 4.4, 10 plus long, squatted over 450. Super impressive coming off the ACL tear. He gets an honorable mention. Then we go to the pros. Hard to keep him off the top 3, but he is probably number 4 on my genetic accident list. Honorable mention, Jonathan Stewart. This I can tell you about Stu, pound for pound. He is the strongest athlete I ever coached. He's still monstrous. Saw him this weekend at Luke's Hall of Fame party. Bear hugged me. Could have body slammed me in about 2 seconds flat. Now he plays golf all yoked up. Stu was never credited for how fast he was. Super explosive. He was coached by the legendary strength coach Jimmy Radcliffe at Oregon and could have easily have been a highly competitive weightlifter. Those are my honorable mentions. Now to the 3 finalists of genetic accidents. No particular order. I didn't rank them. These are my top 3. Let's start out with Julius Pepper's Hall of Famer D end. Pep easily could have been a professional basketball player. I think Pep could have done basketball and football at the same time. Chose football, number 2 pick in the draft. Superior athleticism from the defensive end position. Could take a ball back 80 yards on a return for an interception. Could rush the passer with the best of them. He's a top 5 pass rusher of all time. Man, strong. Had him his last 2 years. Super impressive physical specimen. Second, if you didn't think this guy was on your list, you're crazy. Cam Newton. You saw him what he did at Auburn? Well, guess what? He did it in the NFL too. Size, strength, speed, toughness, work ethic. Cam didn't just rely on his physical attributes. Cam laid it on the line every single day. That's why he is on the top 3 list. Physically gifted, but man, did he want to win, and did he lay it on the line every single game. And finally, an athlete that I coached at college level and the pro level. Physical stature, not the same as Pep and Cam, but athletically and legitimately what I call man strong. Some people would call it farm boy strong, but he's from LA. Steve Smith, wide receiver, Carolina Panthers, and I had him at Utah. Here is the most impressive thing that I can say about Steve Smith. 1, 19 years of college. Excuse me, I was going to tell you 20. That'd be a falsity. 19 years of college, the hardest practice player I ever coached, and he replicated that at the pro level. But here's a story that a lot of people don't know about Steve. Steve's first year, has a really good first year coming out of JUCO. Last game of the year at BYU in Provo. Guy breaks his neck. Actually plays 2 to 3 more plays before he comes out with a broken neck. Boom, halo brace on. Misses the bowl game, misses our entire winter program. That's a story for another day. And he gets the halo brace off probably around a week before our pro day, where we would have the guys junior day and have them run. So me and Steve talk, have a conversation. I'm a little skeptical about him running. This is a super important time for Steve to run. This is the first time the pro scouts will have clocks on him. And I can pretty much tell you, I told him I don't know if he should do it. Well, that was probably the wrong thing to do because Steve's going to do what Steve wants to do. Steve showed up and ran a 4.41. That's Steve Smith. I've seen Steve walk into gyms in street clothes, jump on a 60-inch box, and just say, that's what everybody's getting excited for? That's nothing. Get back to work. Steve Smith, Julius Peppers, Cam Newton, my 3 genetic accidents. Tell me if I got it right. If you know me, should I put your name on the list? Because I could have easily put Luke Kuechly on this list as an honorable mention. Thomas Davis. Thomas could leap out the gym even after 3 ACLs on the same leg. Freaky athlete coming out of Georgia. D'Angelo Williams, a lot like Stu, pound for pound, one of the strongest guys I've ever coached. And just think of this. Cam Newton, Jonathan Stewart, and D'Angelo Williams all in the same backfield. Yeah, we led the NFL in rushing. But that's it for this week. Genetic accidents. Have you coached any? Leave them in the comments. Do you think I missed anybody? If you know who I am, like I said, do you think you should be on there, Rudy Burgess? I thought about you. Hey, thanks again for watching. Please like and subscribe. And as always, words win. We'll see you next week. Peace.